Jalen Parmalee here. I'm going to talk about shoulder impingement in this video because it's something a lot of clients come in with on a weekly basis. So we're going to talk about it in this video. Now, if you saw my video on the rotator cuff muscles, you know that they're responsible for stabilizing the shoulder girdle and keeping that head of the humerus nice and snug inside the sphenoid fossa when you raise your arm. But with shoulder impingement, what happens is there's some type of dysfunction in the rotator cuff muscles where they're unable to keep the head of the humerus inside of that sphenoid fossa. So these structures here, you got the subacromial bursa and then the common rotator cuff tendon, they run into this AC joint when you move your arm around. And one of the most common symptoms of that is when someone raises their arm laterally. So when you raise your arm this way and you hit about shoulder level, you start to feel some pain right in that area right there, or right in here is where you start to feel the pain or pinching. And that's usually the first symptom of impingement, and that symptom is one that needs to be addressed, I would say, like right away. You don't want to wait to take action, because impingement just causes, that's just the precursor to a lot of shoulder issues and shoulder dysfunction. So take care of that issue right when you start feeling it, and I will tell you how to do that. First thing we need to focus on is strengthening your rotator cuff muscles. So if you don't do anything, you have to strengthen your rotator cuff muscles. And I have videos on what to do for reinforcing the strength in your shoulder. I will put that in the post here. I'll post a link for that in this post. And the other thing you need to do is make sure you're releasing and stretching your pec muscles. So you got to release and stretch here. You want to release and stretch your deltoid, and you want to release and stretch your pec minor. Because if you don't release these, they're just going to keep overpowering. They're just going to keep being over tight, and you're not going to get the benefits of the strength that you're creating with these muscles, because these are still going to be too tight to allow proper movement, proper function in these muscles. So you have to release your pecs, have to release your deltoid. Also, release your rotator cuff muscles. So I don't know, it's got to be close to 100% of people with shoulder issues have knots or trigger points in the infraspinatus, or they have knots and trigger points in this subscapularis right in here. So if they have knots and trigger points, if you have knots and trigger points in those muscles, you're not going to be able to create function, or you're not going to be able to create proper strength with knotted, riddled with tension muscles. Okay, your muscles aren't going to fire. They're not going to contract and release like they need to. They're not going to pump out. They're not going to get enough oxygen. Not getting enough blood. So you have to release these muscles to break up that tension, get rid of all those knots in there. And then once you do that, that's when I would work on the internal external rotation. That's when I would work on the strengthening, and that's when you're really going to see an improvement in your, not only in your movement and in your mobility of your shoulder, but also in the strength and the reduction of the pain when you move your shoulder, when you move your arm around. So those are the steps that you need to take in order to create functionality and pain-free range of motion in the shoulder. I would also add to strengthen your upper back muscles. So you want to strengthen your upper back muscles, because especially if you're someone who sits at a computer all day and you don't have the best posture, these will help counteract your pec muscles. So these muscles up in here, your pec minor and pec major, these will help reinforce the strength of your upper back as you start to work on strengthening these. Again, make sure you release these as well, and you'll also want to work on releasing the middle and lower trap right in here. So release those. And then I would do WTAs. I have a video on WTAs on how to do the exercises. I will post those in this post as well. And with that, you are creating a healthy, stronger, and more functional shoulder. All right. If you're someone that has been with shoulder pain or shoulder issues for years and years, this is something that you have to do continually every week. Like, I wouldn't go a week without doing it. Even if it feels better, just continue to do it, because you need to create muscle memory. You need to tell these muscles that they need to be strong. You need to let these muscles know that they don't need to be tight all the time, because that's the only way we can change that relationship, is by releasing and strengthening. So muscles do have memory. Muscles do adapt well to change, but it has to be a change that's done over and over and over again until it's stained in their memory. So with that being said, that's everything I wanted to discuss. It's not an easy fix, but it's kind of simple. It won't be easy, but it is simple. It's just stretch and release, strengthen, and maintain this space in between here, which gradually decreases over time. And then the exercise I'm going to recommend for this increasing the space in here is the pendulum, and that will be on one of the posts that I put on this page. So check that exercise out. It's a great exercise, and it actually feels pretty good on the shoulder as well. And for releasing these muscles in here, I have posts on that. Check those out. Check out sneaky subscapularis pain to learn how to release this muscle, because this will be, I'm telling you, this will create huge relief in your shoulder as you start to learn how to release that and make that feel a little better. So that's everything. Hope you learned a lot. This is like my 70th take, so I hope I got everything. If you want me to post on anything else, just let me know, and I will do my best. All right, I will see you on the next video.